And I got a question in my mailbag. Are we currently the most miserable sports city in America? And I broke this down. Well, I would say scientifically if it was scientific,
It
but
was
as
not.
close to it, as I could get. Here's the criterion. Stay with me here. A city has to have 3 teams, okay? And you have to have, for those that have 4 teams, you have to have at least 3 of them right now with non-winning records, and that includes this past baseball season. Ron, I could only find 4 cities, including ours, so 3 others, that fit that criterion. And they were Chicago, believe it or not, Detroit, and Washington, D.C. What do you make of that? There was a lot of misery to go around, right? Like L.A. right now. But they have the Dodgers, right? They have even the Chargers. They have so many teams, L.A. and New York.
Rams just coming off the Super Bowl win.
Exactly. Denver's NFL team stinks, but the Colorado Avalanche are really good. They just won the Cup. And the Denver Nuggets have a winning record. You get the picture here.
I do get the picture. In other words, you're saying we might be right there.
We're right there in our current state. I eliminated Chicago right away because they have 3 teams right at 500. The Bulls, the Blackhawks, and the White Sox finished at 500. There's no way they're as bad as we are.
But what you say, the worst place to be is at 500, though, right?
True, but I'm measuring this by losing percentage. Who's the most miserable sports city?
The Pirates go 62 and 100. I mean, that alone. And the Steelers 2-6. The Penguins are, 12 games in.
Right.
They've lost
but
7
they counted.
They do. But, I mean, the Pirates alone, winning percentage-wise, is going to drag everything down.
Yeah, and especially this is loaded toward baseball because of so many games, right?
Right.
I admit that. It's not scientific, but here we go. Let's start with Detroit, may we?
We may.
The Red Wings are on the upswing. They're 7-3-2.
They got some young players that are good.
But they have 3 horrific teams: the Tigers, the Lions, and the Pistons. And the cumulative winning percentage there is .392. Keep that in mind.
I will. I'm going to write it down.
Then we get to D.C., and they have 4 bad teams right now. The Nationals were hideous. The Commanders are bad. The Wizards are hideous. And the Capitals are sort of in a Penguin-like state, old and not very good right now.
They did win one last night.
I know. They clock in at 357, Ron. So they're in the driver's seat here. They're the leader in the clubhouse.
357.
357, and they have 4 bad teams.
Oh.
That only leaves us. So we factor in the Pirates at 62 and 100, the Steelers at 2-6, and the Penguins a couple games under, and we come up with a winning percentage of 374. So we can't even lose the best, Ron.
So
it's D.C.
D.C. tops us.
Detroit, Pittsburgh, D.C. is the order of America's most miserable sports city.
The only thing I would counter with that is I think our expectations are higher here than maybe they are in D.C. No one is happy with the Steelers being 2-6. The Pirates, again, don't count because everybody expects them to stink every year.
Right.
But the Penguins, no one would thought they'd lose 7 in a row at this point of the season. I think our expectations might be higher than they are
because of
DC.
who we are.
Yeah.
Yes. Then again, the Nationals did win a World Series recently.
But the Commanders, with Snyder owning that team, have been an absolute disaster.
Total disaster.
The only thing they're hoping for is that he has to sell the team down there. That's their big expectation. The Nationals did win a couple years ago, not that long ago. So did the
Capitals.
The Capitals.
They have 2 championships more recent than us, which is depressing.
It is.
Yeah, I hear that. Our expectations may well be higher.